Okay guys, it's Sunday the 29th of July, so as always we are going to look at the UK Index, the FTSE 100, the Forex pair EURUSD and also the US Index the NASDAQ in terms of day trading for the trading week ahead. Now with these videos, as always, they are mainly aimed at my zone trader students. However, if you are a day trader, certainly as day trader, price action trader, the zones, the analysis, they should be helpful to you for your trading week. Now, if you are new to trading, or if you don't understand the sort of things that I'm going over in the video, we have a couple of free courses. The free introduction to trading course if you are completely new to trading. If you want to start learning slightly more technical aspects, there's also the free Decisive package. Both of those are linked in the comment section below the video. Okay, so as always, we are going to start with the FTSE 100 now. With this market, there's a couple of things quickly. What you can see on the MT4 terminal is that there's no connection. Now, over the weekends, brokers are updating their terminals, their software, to take into account the new ESMA regulations which are about to begin. So, I actually believe this candle here from the Friday sold off a little bit more than it actually is showing on this daily time frame. That's something I went over with subscribers on the Friday. I said basically coming into the sort of close of the day, I wanted to see if we were going to see the market pressing strongly one way or the other. And it looks like it has sold off going into the close. Now our analysis from last week is pretty much the same. We're looking at this very key sloping support level and we're looking at this very key resistance level. This is what the FTSE has been using, this one right here and this one right here, for a number of weeks now. It's failed multiple times to get above the resistance level. We actually had a close above it on, what is this, Tuesday, and then we got instant rejection once again. So at present, we're holding under this key level of resistance. We're still holding at the sloping support. We're looking for the potential break one way or the other. Now, as I've mentioned, if we start to break down and fail at this sloping support, it's likely we're going to see a pretty strong correction on the FTSE. Potentially moving forward, we could be going into a little bit of a bearish market. That's if we start to break down and hold down below that sloping support and resistance. We've already had a very strong move down. We've tried to continue on with the bullish trend that we had been having on this market. It failed, we broke down, and as yet we have failed to break back up above this key resistance area. So it's giving us certainly bearish signals at present, but really the main one is what starts to happen when we break out of this ascending triangle. So coming into next week, certainly at the start of the week, this 7696 to 7680 level is very key. At present it is resistance. Coming into the start of the next week, yeah, very key resistance. If we're down below this level, certainly coming into the start of the week, because potentially we're then holding underneath this sloping support level, which would then be sloping resistance. More than happy to look for weakness and the potential strong moves down. Now for the market to start turning a little bit more bullish, it's really if we hold above 7718. So first of all, again, very key resistance. And what you can see here, what we've done multiple times, is we've broken up above this key resistance and then rejected, 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 rejected. Lots of breakout traders will be here looking to get long. Also, every time it comes up to this sloping resistance level, there'll be lots of sellers and they'll all be setting their stop at the obvious places. Before the previous high, it spikes up, it takes them out. Then they get above this high, it spikes up, it takes them out. It's what the market does over and over and over again to these poor people who are trading like this. Now down below, again, it's the exact same with the sloping support level. People are putting their stops down below and they're also looking for breakouts. They break out traders and it's just coming down, it's taking out their stops, it's filling them into the positions. That's why I'm really looking for the market to break down, and then we look for the pullback, and then on the lower time frames we start to look for the weakness. Now down below, key support 7656, 7643 right here. If we're breaking down below this level, then yeah, looking for that potential bearish continuation. Very likely we're coming down to at least this sort of 7610 to 7600 level. So the round number down here, let's put a little rectangle in here. Now that is a potential level of support and resistance, but for me, the real main key level down below there is 7583 to 7562. If we're breaking down below here again, I would expect this market to come down and test at a minimum at this level. So key resistance, if we're getting above this level, 7718, 7706, then potentially... Okay, sorry about that guys, the battery on my mouse died, so that's a new one for me. Pretty happy that didn't happen whilst I was in a trade. So key resistance right up here, if we're breaking up above, then it becomes worthwhile starting to look for those bullish bounces up into 7733, 7745. Again, it has held as nice resistance up at this level. To look for that potential weakness. Really, for the market to start turning or start accepting a lot more bullish, it's up above here. You know, if we're getting up above here, then yeah, it's very likely we're coming back up to test at least 7840 and then back up toward those all-time highs. But those are the main things for me going into next week. We've got key resistance. Start of the week, are we holding below this level? If we are, more than happy to start looking for potential weakness. Key support down below here. If we're breaking down, then yeah, longer term, a few days, potentially over a week. It may just happen very quickly because we've been holding sloping support for so long. I would expect 7583 to 7562 to be tested. Okay, let's move on to Euro USD. Okay guys, Euro USD. So for this market last week, we went over the very key resistance levels which would need to break for this market to start turning more bullish. Because it came down, we've been holding, potentially seeing double bottoms, triple bottoms down here, and really now looking into last week also, potentially we're just adding in another couple of support levels, lining up with that sloping support and resistance level that we have been looking at. So for the week ahead, really our zones, first of all, are still holding pretty good. So on the Tuesday we came down, tested at this 116.50 to 116 level of key support. Got a nice bounce. We've rocketed or dropped back down on the Thursday, and on the Friday again we've found some nice support at this level. The resistance has came from our 117.46 to 117, really 117, we'll just call it 117. So key resistance, key support. In between, we have got that more minor level. What I'm actually going to do is get rid of this just so we can see a little bit better. And we'll have a look at our main areas. Now, coming into next week, it's relatively similar to the previous week. This remains very key support. And really, if we are seeing a stronger move down, we've got this 115.76, 115.56, and then also 115.40, 115.27, because these are lining up, or they would potentially be starting to line up with our sloping support area. So they're both worthwhile watching if we see those stronger moves down. This whole section down here, you can see the market holding multiple times. This whole section is very key support on this market. With the market holding so frequently also, there is the potential for us to start getting these stronger bullish bounces. I'm a little bit surprised with how powerful the sells came in on the Thursday, but we're still testing key support. Still worthwhile looking for those potential bullish positions. 117.46, 117, key resistance. If we start getting up above this level, then yeah, it's worthwhile starting to look for those bullish bounces again up to our previous swing, 117.58 to 117.67. Again, that strong resistance. And if we're getting up above there, then yeah, again, it's worthwhile starting to look for those more powerful bullish bounces to really 117.92 to 118, really 118.10. And then we have both of these levels, also 118.40, 118.66. Key resistance, key resistance. If we're getting up above, then the market's starting to look like it's accepting the bulls holding this market, potentially starting to see those stronger moves above this one. Yeah, you see from last week, we then start to expect those stronger bullish bounces. But at present, the Euro USD has came down. It's holding multiple times. It is giving us slightly bullish sentiment. It's broken up above that sloping resistance level. If we come down, it's broken up above the sloping resistance. It has been holding as support. We've got very key levels down here. It's more than worthwhile starting to look for the bullish bounces. We still have key resistance up above there. Yep, starting to look for those bounces up into the next very key two levels up there, and up above those also. Then we're starting to look a little bit more bullish, looking for those stronger bounces. So after we've had this very strong move down on this market, some sort of a retracement was to be expected, especially because we've came down, we've pressed back, retested at the previous swing, and the market has then failed to break down into new lows. So it's telling us that potentially the selling, at least in the short term to medium term, has come to a bit of an end. We've started ranging sideways, potentially a good area for the bulls to start trying to force this market back up into next key resistance levels. Okay, so that's everything for Euro USD. Let's move on to our final market, the NASDAQ. Okay guys, final market. So with this one, it's a little bit more tricky because we were up at all-time highs. We didn't have any price action evidence up above to give us those clues. But what you can see is when we're spiking up, it's coming up toward round numbers. So 7,500, market just comes up above there, and then we get the rejection coming in. You tend to find that does happen on a lot of markets. You can use those round numbers as guides to your support and resistance. Now on the Monday, first of all, we found support at our 7,312 to 7,270 level. Strong move up above this level, and then support, broke back down, closed back above, and then we got the rejection on the Friday. So this is the 7,400, 7,380. So again, that round number level now. With the NASDAQ, we've broken up above the previous swing on this very strong bullish trend that we've been having. Swing, we break up above, we test, we try to press higher. Again, it's failing. This is potentially giving us early warning signs that at least this initial bounce higher from this very strong trend is starting to fail. So if we get down below 7,312 to 7,270, first of all, good support. If we're breaking down below, it becomes worthwhile starting to look for moves down on this market. I would say certainly, let's actually get rid of this one. We'll just stick to the key ones this week. If we're getting down below, yeah, it's worthwhile starting to look for those moves back down into 7,200 to 7,180. Relatively good level of support. I'd say the very key levels, they start down here, 7,145, 7,095. This is much stronger support than up here. If we're coming down into this level, yeah, good to start watching for those bullish bounces. This one, again, key support. If we're breaking down below, yeah, starting to look for the weakness and potentially those stronger moves down. Now we have created the level of support and resistance at 7,350 into 7,335 right here. Kind of a sort of a pivot between key support and this nice strong resistance level. I'd be happy to look for buys and sells there. I'm not really going to look at it in too much detail because I'm not looking at it as a very key zone. 7,335, 7,350 right here. Worthwhile watching as support and resistance, definitely. 7,380, 7,400, that round number, again, remains key resistance. Now, if we're pressing back up to test at the level above there, we've got 7,420. Don't really want to take into account all of this. I'd say 7,440 right here. It's a nice solid resistance level. You can see the market closing, then rejecting, spiking up, closing underneath, closing, and then rejecting again from this level. Yeah, good resistance area to watch if we see the market coming back up again toward those all-time highs. So for the NASDAQ, moving forward, it's really, are we going to hold at this level again and find further support? It's worthwhile watching. If not, we're looking for the resistance and potentially those stronger moves back down. Certainly to 7,200 to 7,180, but down below there we start to get into more key levels, 7,145, 7,095, 7,060 and 7,020. If the market is pressing back up, it's worthwhile watching for resistance now up at these levels, because the market has shown us once and twice that it is failing to break and hold these higher bullish rallies, or these stronger bullish rallies. Okay guys, so that's everything for this week. As always, I hope that was helpful. I hope you all have a good trading week next week. I'm James R, and thank you.